What's happening, everyone? JayShockblast here, and check it out. Last night, my brother and I went to see Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. It's probably not even worth it to double check. Aquaman 2, okay? The second Aquaman movie. The sequel to the first Aquaman movie. And I know it's getting a lot of bad reviews right now. And I don't know that I'm going to give it a bad review. I'm not going to give it a great review, but I figured I would talk about it real quick because I always liked doing movie reviews, but I always felt like I was just retelling the story, so I kind of stopped doing them. I get in my own head. Anyway, that's not the point here, okay? Aquaman 2 is a movie that you can pay money to see in a movie theater right now, and is it worth paying money to see Aquaman in the theater right now? I don't know. That's up to you. I think you could probably get away with waiting for it to come out on Max or on Blu-ray if you prefer. But I'm fine with the fact that we went and saw it. I got a Taylor Swift cup for my wife. That was certainly a highlight for me. And it was actually a solid movie. Okay, like I don't think it's, if you just turn your brain off a little bit and accept the fact that this is basically Jason Momoa's audition to be Lobo, then you're fine. I mean, because it's not Aquaman, all right? Like, Jason Momoa, I love Jason Momoa. I think he's fantastic in everything he does. He does a great job making Aquaman interesting. He's just not Aquaman. And that has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that, like, the actual acting he does is not Aquaman. And I don't know if there's a way to make Aquaman that much more interesting if it's not acting the way he does, you know? There are lots of choking here. So if you're trying to get away from that, you didn't, all right? But the visuals are actually kind of cool. It's unfortunate that, like, you know, we're dealing with Black Manta again. Black Manta, by the way, absolutely sick character. And, Black Manta in this was fantastic. But it is what it is. You know, it's an okay superhero movie. If you liked Black Adam, you're going to like this, I think. If you like Blue Beetle, you're definitely going to like this. If you like The Flash, you're going to love this, okay? Like, it's certainly one of the better DC movies to come out since Aquaman. If we don't count the Batman, obviously, because, you know, the Batman is not really in the DCEU. This does actually close the chapter on the DCEU. This was the final movie. There's not going to be anything else. What we're going to get next is going to be the new Gunverse. Gunniverse? I don't know how you're going to say that, but anyway, it's going to be the James Gunn thing that he's doing. And, that's it. You know, except for the fact that we're getting the Batman 2 and other stuff outside of the universe, but neither here nor there. I love the Batman. Okay, I'm not even a big Batman fan, by the way, but like I love that it's its own thing, and I'm fine with that, and I can turn my brain off and accept that. So anyway, back to Aquaman. I'm not gonna retell the story. I'm just gonna say that I don't think it's as awful as a lot of people are gonna make it out to be. It does make a lot of sense. I'm sure there's some undertone of global warming that's gonna make people go, "Oh, it's so woke," but it's really not. I mean, it's there and it makes sense in the storyline. Obviously, Amber Heard's in the movie, and I know that automatically disqualifies most people from paying money to see it. But I will say, as a counterpoint to the one person that would cause you not to see the movie, there are hundreds of people that contributed to making this movie what it is. She is in it, but certainly does seem like not nearly as much as she probably would have been otherwise. I think they did actively try to like minimize her role. So there is that. But I don't know, man. Like I like Aquaman. The storyline does kind of center along something they did in DC. I don't know. It's definitely not a shot-for-shot remake, but it is definitely something. I remember like the trenches right when New 52 started. Aquaman went deep in looking for this Lost Kingdom or whatever it was, and I don't know. I don't remember the whole thing, so I'm very unprepared, as you can tell, but I kind of think it's funny this way. I was sitting there watching the movie, like, thinking of, like, all jokey things to say. It's like, oh, the movie about Lobo and his father, Boba Fett, and their fight against H2 Mephisto. And I don't know, if you see the movie, I guess you'll get it, but you probably won't, so funny in my head. Otherwise, yeah, listen, I liked Black Adam. It wasn't great, but like, oh, it's also better than Shazam 2. Like, actually, this might be the best DCEU sequel, if you think about it, because like it's competing against Shazam 2. It's competing against Wonder Woman 84. You know, the Suicide Squad second movie, I guess, technically a second, like a sequel, but I don't know. Yeah, you could argue it could be the best DCEU sequel. I like Momoa, man. I really do. I think he's great, and I cannot wait for him to be Lobo. And if you watch this movie, that's going to be the big takeaway, is holy crap, he's going to be amazing as Lobo. That's it. That's really it, you know? Everything else, it makes sense. The visuals are fine. There's a good fight scene or two. I really do feel like it's a way better movie than people are going to make it out to be, but I can also understand why people are probably going to trash on it, especially if you're like a super nerd and you're like, you did actually read all those Aquaman comics like my brother, like super nerd, you know. He's never gonna hear this. I know he's not gonna listen to this. So yeah, there's that. But anyway, I don't know. It gives me an excuse to play DC supervillains in the background, to be completely honest with you. But there you go, guys. That's my review. I don't like giving numbers because, like, I feel like I probably gave Black Adam a 6 out of 10, and now I'm here and I'm gonna be like, oh, this is a 6 out of 10, which would mean I would probably want to drop Black Adam to like a 5 out of 10, and I don't know, it's just weird. So I'm just gonna say 6 out of 10, which means it's a decent movie. I honestly, I kind of played Pokemon Go during most of it, but that's only because like the drift was really good and my guy was running everywhere during it, and I just wanted to hatch my eggs so I could like get more on the ride home. Anyway, that's my review. It's a solid movie. I'm not disappointed that I saw it in the theater, other than the fact that we got the wrong size popcorn, so I couldn't like spread the butter evenly, and I just hate it that movie theaters now like just don't do the butter for you. You know what I mean? So anyway, we'll see ya.